Good evening, everyone. Welcome to second class of Italian game chess traps. As you know, Italian game starts with the move e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop to c4, and bishop to c5. Bishop to c5. Okay. Now we are entering into the line of Guico piano Italian chess games. Okay, now the best move for white in this position is to play the move d3, and when black plays knight f6 we just castle in this position. Okay, now black castles and bishop to g5 is a well-known line in this position. Internet issue. Reconnecting দেখাচ্ছে. Sir. Sir. Okay. Okay, now the sir, internet.
Start from beginning on.
Yes, sir. Sir, actually it's okay, sir. Okay, e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, bishop c5, and now d3. Yes, black plays knight f6 and now knight to c3, and black castles in this position. So this is our trappy line. Our trappy territory starts in this position. White plays the move bishop to g5, and many of your opponents in this position will be annoyed with this pin, and they will play something like h6. Now we are going to play h4. We are going to sacrifice our bishop in this position. Let's say in this position black doesn't know this trap. This trap is known as the fishing pole trap. Yeah. Let's say black takes and we take back. Yeah, we are kicking the knight. The knight has two squares, either to here or to here. These two squares, and trust me, these two squares are not good. Let's say we analyze the first move, knight to g4. Well, in this position we are going to play knight to h4, and let's say black plays something like d6, and we are going to play knight to g6. Now see, there is a deadly threat of the rook as well as a checkmate threat, and it's not easy to parry both. Black has to give up his knight, something like knight to h6, and then we take. After this we take back with the rook, and this is a horrible position. It's a horrible position for black. Okay, let's go a few moves back. Yeah, after this move we saw what happens with knight to g4. Now let's see what happens with knight to h7. Well, knight to h7 is more worse in this position because of the move this g6, and let's say this, black comes back. We can continue with the move knight to g5. Well, in this position it's showing reconnecting again, and yeah, now after this position, let's say black plays something like d6. We take back. He has to take back, he has no other moves, and then we take back, and this is also a bad position, and black has to go here, and then this infiltrates, and this is, I don't have to tell you, this is completely lost. Okay, understood everyone? Okay, now let's go a few moves back. to the starting position. Now let's see. Now let's see a trap from black's perspective. E4, we play E5, knight F3, and knight C6, and the move bishop to C4. Okay. Bishop to C4. Yeah. This you all know. No, this is a Blackburn gambit. Reconnecting দেখাচ্ছে স্যার বারবার। স্যার বারবার রিকানেক্টিং দেখাচ্ছে স্যার এই নিচে। একটা প্রবলেম হচ্ছে অনেকগুলো যাচ্ছে না। Okay, after the move knight to d4, if white gets tempted with the move knight takes h, sir. এটাই প্রবলেম হচ্ছে স্যার, নেটওয়ার্ক ইস্যু। রিকানেক্টিং রিফ্রেশ করলে পুরো নতুন থেকে চলে যাচ্ছে। ওকে
Stop the refresh.
এই তেরি। Okay, now let's see. Now let's see from black's perspective. E4, E5, knight F3, knight to C6, and the move bishop to C4. Well, this is also known as the Blackburn gambit, but black plays this move knight to D4. As you all know, you're all familiar with these traps. Knight takes E5 is the main move, attacking the F7 pawn. We play the trappy move queen to G5. And if white gets tempted with the move knight takes F7, thinking that he can fork the queen as well as the rook, well, it's just lost in 2 or 3 moves. Well, queen takes G2, white has to move the rook, and then we take back. The best move is to give up the queen and hope for a long game. But if white gets greedy with this move, then he gets checkmated instantly with the move smothered knight. So the score is even 1-1. So let's go back to white. Okay, let's go back to the starting position.
No.
Yes, E4, E5, knight F3, knight to C6, and now we play bishop to C4. No, not knight to D7, instead bishop to C5. Yeah, C3 is the main move in this position. We are planning to play D4 and get a very strong center.
Left click hold and drag.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we are preparing D4 in this position. So instead black counter attacks with the move knight to F6. He is attacking the E4 pawn. Well, we are going to ignore. If we have come this far, then we play D4. And after pawn takes, and if black moves the bishop, then he gets smashed with the move D5, and this knight can't come here. He has only one square to play to the E7 square, and trust me, this is a very passive position for black. So the more logical move is to give a check. The king is under attack, so we play knight to C3. Yeah, knight takes E4. Black goes forward and took the pawn. This is the most famous game in this position, the Guico gambit. This is also known as the Guico gambit. Yeah. So now white just castled. He is attacking the knight now because the knight was unpinned. From this position, the king just moved safely. So black took, and when white takes back, black took with the bishop. Okay. Now bishop takes C3. Now see, black is currently attacking our rook, but we don't care about the rook. We are going forward with the move queen to B3. We are attacking the F7 pawn as well as the bishop.
Simply right click will circle the square.
Okay, yeah. Okay, we are attacking.
Arrow,
Okay, we are attacking the bishop as well as we are attacking the f7 f7 pawn, yeah. Sir, abar reconnecting দেখাচ্ছে. Okay. Now black took the rook. Well, we give a check. Black has only one move. Well, if you want to win quickly, you can play the move bishop to g5. See, we are attacking the queen, and the queen is almost trapped except for this move. So let's play knight to e7, and we could take the bishop first and then play our rook to e1, but let's say rook to e1. We are pinning this, and this is almost lost for black. Horrible position. So black has to give up the queen. Let's say something like d6. I'm making a random move. Well, after this move, he has to give up the queen. Okay. Now after this, we take back, and then when this, we just move our bishop back here, and this bishop is under almost trapped. This bishop we are threatening now. Queen to something like this, and then infiltrate on this square. There's a lot of threat in this position, so I'm not analyzing it in detail. You can find it the best moves yourself in this position. Okay, now let's see a trap from black's perspective. Sorry. Yes. Okay. Now e4, e5. So the score is now 2-1. White has won 2 games and black has won. So let's even the score now. Knight f3, knight to c6, and the move bishop to c4. Well, we play bishop to c5. White castles in this position. We play knight to f6, and after d3, I think we played d6. And remember, we haven't castled in this position, but we have the address of the white king. White king is castled on his king side. So many of your opponents will try this move, bishop to g5, this pin. Since we haven't castled in this position, we can play the move h6. We are asking the bishop if he wants to take or he wants to retreat. Well, many of our opponents won't take this knight. Instead, they want to keep the pressure on the f6 square. Now we play the move g5, and this I hope you remember this. This is a very famous game. This is played by Mikhail Chigorin in this position, black. Mikhail Chigorin played this position as black in this position.
Chigorin is trapped.
Yes, sir. So now after bishop to g3, Mikhail Chigorin went with the move, very aggressive move, h5. Now what are you wondering is this position is what happens to the g5 pawn. Not only the g5 pawn, but then the f7 pawn will be under attack, because the knight and the bishop are putting a lot of pressure on the f7 square. But that's what his opponent played exactly. He came forward and Mikhail Chigorin went with the move h4. He didn't care about the move f7. In fact, he's going to sacrifice your queen, as you are going to see in this position. And after the move this, after the move h4, okay, now his opponent took the f7 pawn, hoping that he is going to be a queen up and there is nothing to worry about, the king is completely safe. But it's an illusion. After knight takes f7, Mikhail Chigorin went with this move, pawn takes pawn, bishop. As you can see, this pawn as well as this rook, and not to mention this bishop, is playing a key role in hunting down the king. So his opponent took the queen, and now came the in between move, bishop to g5. As you can see, the f2 pawn is pinned, so there's no point in playing f3. It will be an illegal move to play. His opponent played the move queen to d2. And then Mikhail Chigorin went in with the move knight to d4. Now there's a deadly threat of knight e2 check and then rook takes, this is a mate. So Mikhail Chigorin's opponent played the move knight to c3. Well, I am chilling now in this position, I am defending this square, there is no threat. So now there is a mate in 2 or 3 moves, I think, yeah. Now comes the move knight f3 check. As you can see, sorry, there is a attack on the king as well as the queen, and white is forced to take. And after this, if white wants, he can resign in this position, because there is no stopping this mate, or if white takes this pawn, this is a mate. So going back, and of course there is no stopping, and if white plays something like, let's say, random move, something like h3, and this is a mate, pawn takes h2 is a mate. The king has no legal square, the king can't come here, can't stay here. This is a deadly trap. So the move order, let's rewind the move order, let's go back, yeah. After e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, no, not this move, instead, yeah, bishop to c5, and then white castles, and after the move knight to f6, white plays the move d3. Well, we play d6, and remember, whenever your opponent tries to pin you in this position, always play the move h6, and don't be afraid of pushing your kingside pawns. This is a completely fine. Always remember the Mikhail Chigorin trap in this position. Okay, now let's go back. So the score is even now, 2-2. Okay, now let's flip the board. Yeah, e4, e5. Well, there is a reverse move order which you can play. Bishop to c4. You can confuse your opponent. It's some sort transposed into the Italian game, but in order to confuse your opponent. And after the move bishop to c5, see, black is just copycatting position, trying to copycat this bishop. Well, there are two traps in this position. After bishop to c5, we play the aggressive move d4. This is a very fun trap in this position. After the move d4, let's say the first move, what if black takes this pawn takes d4? Well, we play bishop takes f7 check. After king takes, we come in here, there is a double attack, king as well as this undefended piece, LPDO, loose pieces drop off. This piece has no defense, so wherever the king moves, let's say this bishop is going to be with check, yeah. And after this d6, we take back the d4 pawn, and which opening gives you a pawn up in only 5th or 6th move of the game. It's the Italian game. Okay, let's go back to some moves back. So pawn takes pawn is a blunder. What happens with the move bishop takes d4? That is also a possibility in this position. Well, we play knight to f3. We are currently attacking the bishop, and retreating this bishop doesn't make sense because the e5 pawn drops. Not only we are ahead in development, also we are getting our pawn which we have sacrificed. So the most logical move is to play the move knight to c6. We are defending the bishop, we are maintaining our extra pawn, and black is just chilling in this position. Well, we said no, we are going to castle, and when black plays the move knight to f6, preparing to castle, we are going to take the bishop. Black takes with the knight. This knight is very strong in the center. Well, now we play the move bishop to g5. Now see this pin. Now what you are wondering in this position is that we have castled in this position. The opening which we have discussed earlier, now black can push the pawns, right, with the move h6 and then g5, and then g5, the pawn strong, and our king is going to be in a lot of trouble in this position. Well, after this move, black does play the g5 move. Well, now there is a huge blow coming up in this position. We play the move f4. This is a very cunning trap and very disastrous one. So the first option is black can't take with the e5 pawn. He'll just lose the knight. Well, the second option is what happens if pawn takes pawn. Okay. Yeah. Let's say black takes this, then this knight is also loose. This knight drops. So going back, taking with the e pawn is not an option. So what happens with g takes f4? Isn't that a free pawn? Well, we say no, that's not a free pawn. And after this, we go with queen takes d4. And now see, this is a pressure here, this queen as well as the rook, and this knight is gone. Yeah, there is a huge pressure on the f6 pawn, f6 knight, sorry. Yeah, and this is the pin. Also, this rook is under attack, and this knight is just gone in this position. Whatever, let's say random move with d6, then we take back this, and after this, we take back this. And this is a huge material advantage. So going back to the position, let's say a few moves back. So taking the pawn isn't an option with the pawn. So what happens if pawn takes bishop? Well, we take back this. And now see, we are attacking the knight, and not to mention this bishop as well as the rook is putting a lot of pressure once this knight moves. And also not to mention the queen is also attacking the d4 knight, and this is means these two knights are very much loose, and black is going to lose one of them. Let's say something like
টুর্নামেন্টে কিন্তু এই ওপেনিং দিয়ে খেলা হবে, সবাই কিন্তু এই লাইনগুলোই প্রিপেয়ার করবে। ওকে, কন্টিনিউ।
Okay, yeah. After the move pawn takes, let's say black plays the move d6. He knows that he is going to lose one of the knight, which we are going to take the d4 knight. We are putting pressure on this, and if pawn takes, we take back. And after this, we develop the knight freely, and also we can just take the knight also in this position. Sorry, yeah, we could just take the knight. Now there is a threat of this rook takes f7 and winning the rook. The queen is putting an x-ray pressure on the h8 rook. Let's say black plays something like bishop d6 is lost because of bishop takes, and this pawn is pinned. So bishop d6 is a bad blunder. So what else black can do? Black has nothing good move than bishop to g4, just liberating his pieces. Well, we take back this, and next we are going to pick up the black rook, and we are just chilling in this position. Black has no move. In fact, this is a disastrous. Yeah, this is a checkmate in this position. Black is going to lose. So you can confuse your opponent with the move Italian game with the move bishop to c4 very early.
In this case, what should be the line that black should follow?
Yeah, after this move, black shouldn't play copycat. Copycat means bishop to c5 is not a good move, this position. But because the trappy line starts with the move d4. And whenever
white play the move bishop to c4, the
yes,
black should continue as usual by developing its
knight. Yes, this is the perfect way to play knight. We are developing the knight. We are attacking the e4 pawn, and white has to defend now with the move d3. And now black can play the move bishop to c5. Yeah, there is a huge difference between playing the bishop early and after developing this knight, and then you play the bishop. This is a perfect way.
Castle is open.
Yeah, now black can just run away with the move castling, and if white tries to apply the same threat, black can just run away with the move castling, and black is doing great here. Black is just fine. In fact, the game goes on with the move castle, d6, h3, and this is a perfect way of playing, because this is a very popular. Many of your opponents won't know the theory, and you can confuse them with the move bishop to c4. And if they does bishop c4, bishop c5, then they are going to lose in the opening stage after the move d4. This is a huge blow. So going back, let's see a trap from black's perspective now. Sorry. Yep. Okay. e4, e5, knight f3, knight to c6, bishop to c4. I am showing you the perfect way to play as black in this position in order to avoid every possible traps from white. After the move bishop to c4, we could play knight f6, or the move, very popular move, bishop to c5, Guico piano opening variation. Yeah. After the move bishop to c5, the main move for white is to castle. We play the move knight to f6, and when black plays the move d3, we could play cautiously with the move h6. We are stopping this bishop g5 move. And after the move knight to c3, this is a perfect way to play. We castle or play the move d6. This both moves are good, equally good. And white plays the move bishop to e3. Okay, remember in this position, when white plays the move bishop to e3, white is just inviting you to take the bishop and open up the f file. It would benefit white in this position if you take the bishop, because if you take this, and this is slightly better for white, because white has a half open f file. So never take this bishop. Well, you retreat the bishop to b6, and you are telling that if you want to take, you can take. And if white takes this bishop, then we are more than happy to open up our a file. So after this, the game goes on with the move, let's say queen to e2 is the main move. Then we play d6, h3. We are stopping something like bishop to g4, and the game goes on. We could also, if we want, after this move, we could play the move knight to a5. We are going after the bishop pair, and after something like he wants to preserve his bishop pair, we could play this move c6. And if he wants this, so we are going after the bishop pair in this position, or we could just play positionally with the move bishop to e6. If white takes the same position, now black has the half open f file. There could be some ideas like knight h5 to knight, let's say a random move. Also, not to mention that d5 square is also under control. The knight cannot jump here, so the white's pieces are very much limited. Queen to d2, and now we play the move, we play our knight to here. We are angling at the f4 square, and this is a completely fine position for black. This is the perfect way to play. Okay, there is another trap. Let's go back. There are huge traps in the Italian. Sorry. Yeah. e4, e5, knight f3, knight to c6, and after the move bishop to c4. Now the two knights variation with the move knight f6. Well, this is a very common line. Knight to g5. We are putting a lot of pressure on the f7 pawn. The best move for black in this position is to play the move d5, and after pawn takes, we play the move knight to a5, and after this c6, pawn takes, bishop to e2. This is the perfect order to play. It's true that black has some weak pawn on the queen side, but black has some free flowing development with the move bishop to d6, and when white castles, black can does the same, and the game goes on. And there is a trap in this position. After the move d5, after pawn takes d5, many of our opponents will play the move knight takes d5. Well, in this position, there is a famous game, Stockfish versus AlphaZero, something like AlphaZero or Lilo0, I am not sure in this position. Stockfish played the brilliant move knight takes f7. Sacrificing his knight. Yeah, after queen f3 checked. Well, you see the queen and the bishop, they are both putting a lot of pressure on the d5 knight. So if black wants to hold on to this material, he has to come up. It does look weird, but it's the best move according to the engines. Yeah, king to e6, and then white plays knight to c3. We are putting further pressure. We have three attackers, whereas black has only two defenders, a queen and the king. So this knight is somehow pinned in this position. So the best move for black is to play the move knight to b4. Yeah, black is just defending his knight, also counter attacking the c2 pawn. So Stockfish continued with the move castle in this position. He is not afraid of giving up a pawn. He's just lost a piece. Now he doesn't worry about giving up a pawn. So black dare not take this pawn. If he does, then you know what to do. You are just losing the knight. So that's not even a possibility. So the game continues with the move c6, and now Stockfish plays the move d4. He's just trying to open up the e file and then include another piece. Also, this bishop is ready to open up. He is just giving up everything in order to activate his pieces. So something like the game goes on with the move something like, let's say, queen to f6. I think Leela Chess0 played this move, queen to f6, but Stockfish rejects the offer of queen trade with the move queen to e2. There is a lot of pressure here, and the game goes on. This is a trap. You can analyze this position in your home if you want further, and no matter what black does, white is always going to be better, because we can also play the move. Let's say black plays something like bishop to d7, then we can play the move f4. We are putting a lot of pressure here, not to mention this knight is pinned. This knight cannot take the pawn. This pawn is also pinned. We are threatening to take this. The f file opens up, and I don't have to tell you this. This is completely winning for white. The bishop is also coming in the game. If you want, you can analyze this position in your home. This is a fine position for white. These are some of the huge traps that you can analyze in your position, in your games, in your homes if you want. So that's it. Okay, hope you enjoyed this huge traps of Italian game. Practice, and bye for now.